Welcome to Outside Views. Today we're taking a little look at the political system of Bahrain in the year 2025. A small but strategically important country in the Middle East, Bahrain has a unique political system that blends monarchy with parliamentary elements. But how does Bahrain's government function today? And what are the key developments shaping its governance in 2025? Bahrain is a constitutional monarchy, meaning that while it has a parliamentary system, ultimate authority rests with the ruling monarch. In 2025, King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa remains the head of state, holding broad executive and legislative powers. The king appoints the prime minister, government ministers, and key officials, while also having the authority to dissolve parliament and call for new elections. The ruling Al Khalifa family has governed Bahrain for centuries, and the monarchy remains the dominant force in the country's political landscape. The government is led by the prime minister, who is appointed by the king. The prime minister oversees the executive branch and is responsible for implementing policies, managing national affairs, and directing the cabinet of ministers. Despite the existence of a prime minister, decision-making remains heavily influenced by the king and the royal family. Bahrain's parliament is bicameral, consisting of the Council of Representatives and the Shura Council. The Council of Representatives, the lower house, has 40 members who are elected by popular vote every 4 years. The Shura Council, the upper house, also has 40 members, but they are appointed by the king. While Parliament has the authority to propose and debate laws, its powers are limited and all legislation requires royal approval. Elections in Bahrain are regularly held, but they have been subject of controversy. While the government promotes parliamentary elections as part of Bahrain's democratic development, opposition groups argue that the system is designed to maintain the dominance of the monarchy. Several political parties and opposition groups have been banned, and restrictions on political activity have led to accusations that the elections are neither free nor fair. The judiciary in Bahrain is officially independent, but in practice it's often seen as being influenced by the executive branch. The legal system includes civil and Sharia courts, with a Supreme Judicial Council overseeing judicial affairs. Human rights organizations frequently raise concerns about the fairness of trials, particularly those involving political activists and opposition figures. Critics argue that the judiciary is used to suppress dissent, while the government insists that legal actions are taken to maintain national stability. One of the defining aspects of Bahrain's political landscape in 2025 is the ongoing tension between the government and opposition groups. Bahrain has experienced waves of political unrest, particularly since the 2011 Arab Spring protests. Demands for greater political representation, human rights reforms, and an end to discrimination against the Shiite majority continue to shape political debates. The government has responded with both reforms and crackdowns, maintaining tight control over opposition movements and civil society organizations. Bahrain's foreign policy remains closely aligned with regional and global powers. As a key ally of Saudi Arabia and the United States, Bahrain hosts the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet, making it a strategic partner in regional security. Its relationship with Saudi Arabia remains strong, with Riyadh playing a major role in Bahrain's economic and political stability. At the same time, tensions with Iran persist as Bahrain accuses Tehran of supporting opposition groups within the country. Economic policy is another major focus in Bahrain's political system in 2025. The government continues efforts to diversify the economy beyond oil, focusing on sectors such as finance, tourism, and technology. Bahrain has positioned itself as a financial hub in the Gulf region, attracting investment through regulatory reforms and economic incentives. However, economic inequality, unemployment, and concerns over public debt remain pressing issues that influence political discussions. Freedom of speech and press freedom remain restricted in Bahrain. Independent media outlets face censorship, and journalists critical of the government often face harassment, legal action, or imprisonment. The government maintains strict internet regulations, with social media platforms monitored for dissenting voices. So it could be this video is not seen there. Despite these restrictions, activists continue to use digital platforms to raise awareness about political and human rights issues. Looking ahead, Bahrain's political system in 2025 remains a hybrid of monarchy and limited parliamentary democracy. While the government continues to implement reforms aimed at modernization and economic development, political freedoms remain restricted. The balance between maintaining stability and addressing demands for greater political representation will determine Bahrain's future trajectory. The question remains whether meaningful political reforms will take place, or whether the current system will continue to reinforce the dominance of the ruling monarchy. And that already was our little dive into Bahrain's political system in 2025. And if you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching Outside Views, and I'll see you in the next video.